Aloha and welcome to a special edition of Hi Now Daily. I'm Rachel Picaro.
And I'm Kainoa Carlson. Today we're going to be highlighting the 10-day event known as FestPAC, or Festival of Pacific Arts and Culture. Just wrapped up, and wow, what an experience.
Yes, now more than 20 delegations from across the Pacific Ocean traveled to Hawaii for this celebration of Indigenous Pacific Islanders. The theme for this year's FestPAC was Ho'oulu Lahui, Regenerating Oceania.
That's right. Now the 13th FestPAC kicked off with the Va'a Arrival Ceremony. That's what you're looking at right here. Wow. It was held on Wednesday, June 5th, just earlier at Kualoa Regional Park. This particular event symbolized unity as traditional canoes, or Va'a, brought in cultural representatives from various parts of the Pacific nations. And joining us right now to tell us a little bit more about what took place is Liko Hoy. Welcome in, brother.
Aloha. Aloha.
What an experience it was to be out there.
Oh, amazing.
To see just the video coming in, it looked incredible. A beautiful day, everybody coming together. What was that like for you personally? You're from the windward side, Ahupua'a Hakipu'u, so tell me a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, so, really the Va'a arrival was kind of the event right before the official opening. And to me, it's appropriate. Traditionally, all of the Va'a would be how people would arrive, in all of the islands. And we had been preparing for this for months, even parts of it for years. But to just see the first canoes, really the 5th was the official event, but the canoes actually started arriving from, I think it was the end of May, the 31st. Mm-hmm. We got our first couple canoes that started actually coming over, the horizon. And it was amazing to see that first canoes were actually from Saipan. We had 2 canoes that came in, I think, on the Thursday before. And every day, we'd have 1, 2 more Va'a that would come in. Some of them kind of medium size, smaller size, but then we start to get the bigger ones, Hokulea, and Fa'afaite and Marumaru Atua from Cook Islands and Tahiti also. But yeah, it was just amazing to see all of those Va'a, arriving. And especially in the place, in Hakipu'u where Hokulea was launched in 1975, and went on to become, what we know of as Hokulea today.
Yeah, special celebration to be a part of. Hainau had the privilege of being out there. We had a chance to cover FestPAC for every day of the festival, which was amazing. But being out there, I saw you the whole time. Now you, along with Keiki Haumana, you folks did a oli as every Va'a entered. What were you folks chanting, and what did that symbolize?
Yeah, so we did the chant Aue Uahitie, and basically there were school groups from the Ko'olau area. And they chanted, and we, as a Hakipu'u Ohana, we backed them up with ka'eke, which is the traditional like bamboo pipe instruments. And it worked out really nicely because we were able to, kind of give a little bit of rhythm and beat to the chant. And basically, as each nation came in, we did a chant for each nation as they arrived and came out to shore.
Beautiful. Yeah. What was that experience like, just seeing like the Homana, like he mentioned, doing all the chants and everybody getting involved? You said this is like years in the making, and just to see it come together into fruition, what was that feeling like for you?
In some ways unreal, unreal to see all of these ocean cultures, the Moana Nui, Akea, all of these island cultures from all parts of the ocean, just arriving and sharing that common experience of being a part of the ocean, traveling on the Va'a, and to me it was just a full experience.
Wow.
It was. I felt like even just being there in person, it almost was like a jolt to the system. You're always like, I'm very proud to be from Hawaii, proud to be a part of this place, but seeing all of the Pacific nations gather, you're realizing more and more like, man, what a special place this is that we get to call home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. Yeah, we got actually time to spend even after basically the last month has been, FestPAC month for us. And we got time to spend a little bit more time with some of the crews, especially our voyaging canoe from Tahiti, Fa'afa'ite, they actually just departed last week, Thursday. And so we got a little bit of time to spend with them. And, in talking with one of the crew members that was on Fa'afa'ite, to me, they really captured it in saying that, when we come together like this, it helps us to kind of fill out our perspective. Each of the nations, we all kind of bring a little bit different perspective, of who we are as a collective. Who we are as the biggest nation really in the world. Throughout the whole Pacific, but. We don't get to see each other every day because we're so far apart. But when we get events like this, we really get to kind of reflect against each other or amongst each other. And I think that really, really was my experience of being there.
Wow, incredible, Nico. We appreciate you coming in and sharing your time with us and your experience of FestPAC.
Hey, mahalo.
10 days, and I know you're just coming down from that high, so enjoy that, and you have so many memories to reflect on.
Yeah, definitely.
Some well-deserved rest. Mahalo nui.
Hey, mahalo.
Hey, stay with us over here on High Now. We're going to be talking about the FestPAC All Show. In fact, coming up, a recap of the Vehena, the opening ceremony, the performances, the speeches, the Parade of Nations, plus much more.
Yes, we've got details on how traditional leaders created an alliance through Talanoa discussions at FestPAC. We sit down with Chair Hulu Lindsay and Hailama Farden from Office of Hawaiian Affairs.
Plus, a live demonstration of Lauhala weaving. You're watching High Now Daily. We'll be back after the break.
Aloha and welcome back to High Now Daily. The Vehena opening ceremony was held on Thursday, June 6, 2024 at the Simplify Arena at the Stan Sheriff Center at the University of Hawaii at Manoa.
That's right, our team was there. High Now was there to experience it firsthand. Here's a recap. Take a look. Aloha mai kako, I'm Kainoa Carlson here at the Stan Sheriff Center on Oahu in Hawaii, where right behind me, Vehena took place, the official opening ceremony for the Festival of Pacific Arts and Culture. It's been described as an Olympic-style parade of nations. Each of the 25 delegations is presenting themselves to Hawaii. Each have prepared a 5 to 7 minute presentation in which they will share their culture and their heritage. Each nation will also be presenting a makana, or a gift to the state of Hawaii, the host for this year's festival.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. There's been a lot of planning, and of course with COVID over in 2020, it's been delayed. But it's something that we have to continue to move forward as far as the Pacific Island people.
Tell us about the presentation, all of the time and effort that went into what Samoa is going to be doing tonight for the Vehena, tonight's opening ceremony.
So all the dance group that will be performing is our teachers from around the different schools in the country, and our fire dancer is a four-time world champion. So we are very, very proud to be here, but we also want to make sure that we are serving the reason why we are here, to promote our culture, to promote our language. You'll see a lot of our Samoan men showing off their tattoo, the traditional Samoan tattoo, and then of course my members of the delegation, we're wearing our blue because those are the national colors of the country. But then we're also wanting to enforce, we've got the colors of the tapa, and which is again, very, very common amongst all of the islands in the Pacific, showing our designs of who we are as Samoans. We want to make sure that the people in Hawaii come and support this, because this is a fantastic initiative, and this is something that we have to continue to promote, especially for our children moving forward. Thank you.
It's an exciting time for us. Many months of preparation have gone into preparations to attend this festival. It's my first time, and the first time for a lot of our delegates. We're just so happy and proud that we'll be able to be here and join with our brothers and sisters in the Pacific to celebrate who we are.
Tell us about the work and all of the time that went into tonight's presentation and performance.
I couldn't be more proud of the delegation coming from Niue. They have dedicated so much preparing for the songs, the dances, the costumes. They're so excited to be here. I really got to give it up to them, and I can't wait to see them perform for the duration of FestPAC.
Tell us about some of the musics, the song and the dance that comes from Niue and what inspires it.
Niueans are actually descendants from canoes that came from the Cook Islands, Puka Puka Island, in Tonga and Samoa. And we've been able to really develop this uniqueness and this resilience and ability to adapt. You'll love the performances coming from Niue. They're exciting, and the kids are so happy and excited to be able to perform for everyone.
How does it feel to be here in person now for FestPAC? So much time, so much work, so much effort it takes to bring all of these people from the Pacific together. How has it been to celebrate culture with the delegation from Niue, but from everyone in the Pacific?
Surreal, to be honest. I still have to pinch myself. At the same time, though, I guess as a Polynesian, there feels to be some kind of coming home to Hawaii. I mean, we recognize that people from Hawaii are Polynesians also. I really hope that we'll be able to engage more, not just with Pacific Islands in the Pacific, but with the people from Hawaii as well. We are all one people, we are all in the Pacific region, and we stand stronger together.
Tell us about the performance that you folks are going to be performing today as part of the Vehena, the opening ceremony.
Atina Lani guys from Halau Kekuhi are the overall creative directors, and what they really wanted to do was bring ola, bring life, bring honor to Lahaina. And so the three mele that we all learned, there's probably about 10 or so halau that kind of came together to do this opening performance. And the three songs all are about Lahaina and Maui. And so it's really just about seeing the clouds come back, seeing the rain, seeing the earth there being regreened, and life just coming back. So that's really what the essence of this performance is. As in 2004, I actually got to go to the Festival of Pacific Arts in Palau. I mean, it was just such a mind-blowing experience, 20 years later, here we are hosting in Hawaii. It's unreal. It's pretty cool. And I can't wait to just see everyone, see what they have to perform, and just celebrate who they are.
How does it feel to be participating in Vehena, being able to be a part of this traditional opening ceremony, kicking off the Festival of Pacific Arts and Culture?
Yeah, thank you. I think this is a good opportunity for us to showcase our culture. Not only that, but we are very appreciative of the invitations from the host country, and we are looking forward for the durations of the festival while we are here in Hawaii.
Auntie, what are you folks performing for the Vehena today?
Doing our presentations. As per program, we'll do the marching and then present our gift. I think it's just the girls will do a group dancing. This is our traditional attire. This is we call it in Tonga Tawala, And also we are having the Whakahapai. It's just our show of respect, not only to the people who are here, but to everyone.
What has Norfolk Island prepared to perform tonight?
Well, we've been preparing for 8 years. Firstly, it's we have a gift for the nation, of course, and it's a very meaningful gift from our point of view. It's a lighter which carries our supplies from the ship to the shore, singing a song which it's called Gwen Hurm, which in English is Going Home. It's about a boy who left Norfolk and learned his trade, and then he came home and he couldn't wait to go fishing and see his mum and dad and have a cup of tea.
Can you tell us a little bit about the attire, what the men are wearing, what the women are wearing, and what it means?
These are costumes, obviously, that reflect our Tahitian ancestry, foremothers. And of course, our forefathers are from the HMAS Bounty, and our hats are all woven, handmade woven hats made out of flax. And so we're very proud of our hats. We have about 2,000 people in our population, and there's 29 in our delegation. It's probably the largest delegation. I've had the good fortune of 1992, I was in Cook Islands, and I've been to several since.
Mahalo nui for watching. There's many events taking place during FestPAC from June 6th to 16th. For a complete list of everything happening, head to festpachawaii.org. Aloha.
Wow, Kaino, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Yes, I love what she said when she said, you know, we're all from the Pacific Islands, but when we're together, we just are stronger.
Yeah, and what she was basically saying was that there was a sense of coming home.
Yeah.
We're kind of realizing the similarities and the differences that we have, but really it goes back to that theme that the ocean is something that actually brings us together and doesn't divide us. Yeah.
I love that so much.
Yeah, it was special.
Probably tons of chicken skin moments for you, right?
Plenty,
right. Well, the day after the opening ceremony, the Hawaii Convention Center opened its doors to the public.
That's right. Now, speaking of chicken skin, yeah, the convention center was amazing. It was the primary venue for FestPAC. Many events and exhibitions took place over there. The Indoor Festival Village actually featured one hale per delegation. Each delegation had a chance to sell jewelry, carvings, clothing, and more, which was a great way to support them, you know, throughout the festival. The hale were made from more than 1,000 invasive trees, mostly albizia, from Aina right here in Waimanalo.
Wow. During the opening of the festival village, Honolulu Mayor Rick Blangiardi signed a sister cities agreement with Avarua, Rarotonga, and the Cook Islands. The signing ceremony took place at the Hawaii Convention Center on the FestPAC main stage.
That's right, everyone coming together. On Friday night, it was the first of a series of fashion shows that kicked off at the Hawaii Convention Center. A Pa'u fashion showcase honored the traditional and contemporary Pa'u skirts of the Pacific. You're getting a look at them right there. We had a chance to catch up with Native Hawaiian fashion designer, the one and only Mana Ola Yap, whose work was featured. Take a look.
Well, really, we're highlighting all of the different cultures and really getting to see what they have around them, you know, because when they make these skirts, they have to gather everything from where they live. So you get to really see their environment reflected in their beautiful cultural adornments. So really neat. And also seeing the forward movement of some of them making some more contemporary pieces that are also reflective of their heritage. So exciting to see everybody's creations tonight, and we're just so honored to be able to host CIFIC here in Hawaii.
How has it been to see some of the other fashion from the other cultures?
It is unbelievable to see even some of the things that we have that grow here being used in some of their skirts. It really opens our eyes to, even as Kanaka, when we make our skirts, you know, why don't we use the things that are around us? You know, a lot of times we're so restricted to using only certain things because somebody said it's like that. But when you think about it, when you see a skirt made out of, you know, cotton fabric, it's okay to do that, you know? So I feel like this is gonna be a great exploration to just find inspiration in moving fashion forward in a good way.
A runway. It is that Mana Ola Yap. It was amazing. Now, each delegation had a chance to show up their creations over the course of the 10-day FestPAC events. It was really fun stuff. Also, the Hawaii Convention Center had interactive displays as soon as you walked in, including one at the Festival Village. This is the entrance as soon as you came into the village area. It was a projection of ocean waves that were crashing onshore, as well as star constellations that took up a whole wall.
Beautiful. Now, there were many FestPAC events on Saturday, June 8th, including some at the Kapi'olani Regional Park Bandstand, while FestPAC delegates performed and hosted activities. There was also a Kamehameha Day Ho'olaulea featuring a marketplace, food vendors, and so much more.
That's right, it was fun. Also, on the afternoon of Sunday, June 9th, FestPAC delegates gathered for an ecumenical service. This was special. It was held at the Simplify Arena at the Stan Sheriff Center at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. The ecumenical service added a spiritual aspect to the festival's festivities, uniting attendees in reflection, singing, and prayer. And I gotta say, the singing at this service was unbelievable. Highly encourage you, if you haven't seen, head to the website and find it. You're watching High Now Daily. We'll be right back.
Amazing stuff. Aloha and welcome back to High Now Daily. Joining us now, we've got Master Weaver Michael Naho'opi'i and co-lead for Ulana. And we've also got Kale Reyes Lenchenko. Alaka'i for Nalehala. Welcome to the show, you folks.
Thank you. Mahalo nui for being here.
Okay, we've got a lot of goodies in front of us, but we wanted to, specifically talk about FestPAC and your folks' involvement with the 10-day celebration.
Well, we were there in the Hawaii Hale, so one of the 28 booths that were there at the festival, demonstrating lahala weaving, especially Hawaiian lahala weaving. And we had a lot of people come visit us from Hawaii, but a lot of the other countries came and visited us because they were just stunned at the stuff we do, because we want to feature the best of what Hawaii had. So we had the best weavers, we had the best craft people, the best weapons maker, kapa makers, so just the epitome of all Hawaiian craft people were at our hale.
And you could hear the gasps when people got there and they realized you guys actually weren't selling.
Yes.
They weren't selling. So this was pure educational to invite people in to teach them about lauhala.
Well, we wanted to let our guests, our guests for the country, because, they got to make money to go home. Yeah. So we want to compete against them. So we wanted just to teach people and show them the things we do. And then we told them, if you want to buy from us, then there's a lot of opportunities here in Hawaii to buy from us. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so at the FestPAC, it was you folks doing your thing, your weaving, but there was so many other delegations that were a part of the FestPAC, and they've brought their own style of weaving to the mix too. What was that like, seeing everybody's different, arts? their artwork?
It was really interesting because a lot of them, they came up to us and they said they wanted to see our style, so we would show them something, and then we would go over to their booth, and then we would watch them for a little bit, and it was just like, the interesting thing was like, in Hawaii, we're more innovative with the things we do, and they do very traditional stuff, so it was really neat. And they taught us some new techniques, and we taught them how to use some new tools. We had some tools here that I end up selling to most of them. So now the Pacific is now flooded with these, it's called a koi, it's a lahala stripper, and they've never seen one before. They seen it on the internet, and they've always been trying to find out where you get it from. So I told them I'd make them, so I ended up selling almost like 30 of these things.
Amazing.
Which I wasn't planning to do,
Yeah, don't put that in your check luggage though, yeah?
And then, Keo, how did you come to be involved in the whole art of weaving, and what drew you to it?
So my journey started about a year ago with Kumu'ipolani Vaughn. Thank you to my mama, Wailani Lenchenko, who invited me to join her at a class with Kumu'ipo up in Papakolea. And since then, it's just been taking off, and it's a whole nother world being involved with Ulana Lauhala. And the one thing that took away for me at FestPAC was the connections that you make with different nations. So it was great having to sit down with a lot of them and talking stories about their lauhala, their weaving, you know, and then kind of comparing it to how it is in Hawaii. So.
What an experience. And I mean, I'm drawn to this here, the lauhala that you use to make this beautiful display. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am a girl who loves fresh flowers, but to get lauhala, and actually you can have this forever.
Yes.
This is a forever flower right here.
Yes, forever flowers.
Oh my goodness.
And the papale.
So we call these kalopua. So they're actually anthuriums, representing anthuriums, but they also look like a kalo plant. Yeah.
Very cool. And can we do a quick demo while we have you guys here? So we can see a little bit?
We either have like a bracelet, or you have half of one of these anthuriums.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you want to
let's do the
demonstrate
anthuriums.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Can you put that there?
And it's interesting because when people come to our booth and they saw these flowers, we told them if the Maoris come, say thank you, because this is from them. Marcus Marzon and myself, we learned this about 20-something years ago. We taught it to different people here in Hawaii, which then spread out to a whole bunch of other people. So a lot of things that we do that are not like traditional hats, it's actually things we picked up from other South Pacific islands. Yeah.
Which is amazing. That just kind of goes to show how important it is to hold festivals like FestPAC, because it's the coming together of different nations, of different Pacific islands, and of course, like showing off what you got. Maybe you see something that you like and you incorporate it in your new styles and all of that. So I love where it's going with like the borrowing and the trading of different patterns and styles. Very cool.
And then what do we have here?
So we have your lauhala. So what we're doing,
I'm noticing it's wet.
Yeah, so making it wet is really helpful to make it pliable. It helps with breakage also.
So when you get the lauhala, you have to completely dry it out first before you use it, and then you just kind of incorporate the water to mold it a little bit.
It should be dry. You don't want to leave it wet. You want to stray it from mold.
Nice.
There we go. So at this point, we've built each side. So we're working on the last side here. Take a little bit.
Wow.
How long do these take to come together?
It just depends on your skills.
So a very long time.
So it might take a little bit. We've held workshops where it took about like maybe 45 to an hour for Hamana to finish.
Wow. Okay. Well, tell me a little bit more about the workshops. Do you guys offer workshops
so right after FestPAC, so we did 10 days in the village for FestPAC. And then we packed up and we held one of the biggest lauhala conferences in Hawaii. It's in South Kona. We do it every year in the summertime. It's about 5 days long. We have almost 200 lauhala weavers gathered together to teach each other everything from very beginners who never seen lauhala before to the most advanced two-tone hat styles that we can do. So we're trying to perpetuate a lot of this, of the weaving styles. And a lot of what we do today, if it wasn't for the kupuna back in the mid-90s, who decided that they were going to start teaching outside of their families, lauhala weaving wouldn't be as big it is today. Because every year we are gaining more and more weavers are getting interested, especially now with those topless hats like what she's wearing. It's become such a trend I remember when I used to make those when I was a lot younger. Nobody wore them.
Yeah.
And then now everybody wants one.
Yeah, everybody likes the teacher blanket
Everybody
up
wants
the
one.
top. That's why, yeah.
How do people get more information about the workshops, or if people want to, continue to learn this craft and this art?
Well, there's different groups you can go visit. I'm part of a club that we're down at the Mission Houses Museum. So we're there the first and last Saturday. People can check it out. There's also, we do sales at Mary Monarch is our biggest market. And there are a lot of Lahala weavers that are there. Each island has a different group. You can check on Facebook. There's a bunch of different Lahala groups that are posted on Facebook. And another place is go to Namea, Hawaii, and talk to them because they have a lot of contacts. There's another people that teach out at the Net Shed over Kewalo Basin. So, you got to find them around. And once you find somebody who you see wearing a Lahala hat, ask them where they got it, and they'll tell you, and then from there, the connection is made. So a lot of people have joined our clubs or joined our different weaving groups. So just by,
I can see why.
Yeah.
This is super, super cool. Very intricate, detailed. It definitely would take us a long time, but I think they're very, very cool. So go ahead and check out their workshops, like he had mentioned, and let's see what she's got. She's almost finished. She's almost been very therapeutic to do something like this. Look at that. Almost done here. She looks like she's going to be adding a little more. All right. There we go.
So where does this part come in now?
Okay, so I've already woven a stamen here. So this will be coming right in the middle.
Nice. All right. Well, it is coming together. We're probably going to keep this up, but we are going to take a quick break and we'll be back with more of our special edition of Hi Now Daily. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Wow.
Aloha and welcome back to High Now Daily. A special declaration was signed into law on June 11th, and here to tell us more about the declaration and what it means for us here in Hawaii, we have OHA Senior Director of Cultural Affairs, Hailama Fardin, as well as the Chair of the Office of Hawaiian Affairs, Carmen Hulu Lindsay. Aloha and welcome in. Mahalo nui for being here. Good to see you folks again. Let's talk about this declaration, Chair, and how this declaration came about.
Well, it came about through a trip that we had to Fiji, where we talked up with the leaders there, and it was decided that this should come about at the FestPAC. This is something that the leaders there at Fiji was King of Aotearoa, the High Chief of Samoa, another High Chief of Fiji, and Hawaii, of course, and we met in the first Talanoa, sort of. And they decided that this should be the Talanoa, that we should start a forum here in Hawaii. So this is why we gathered together for the very first time and came out with the Turuma Ariki Declaration. And actually, we're not going to be calling it a Talanoa anymore. We're calling it a Forum of the Pacific Islands.
And what does this mean moving forward?
Well, it really means taking on and carrying on the responsibility that we've all signed into. Our different Pacific leaders, Ali'i of the Pacific, gathered. As Chair shared already, February was the first gathering, second is here, and even though we've planned for March 2025, the Vunivalu of Fiji is saying, I think it's too long, we need to have another one. So now, informally, until we formalize it, we're looking at having something in October as the third Talanoa, which we'll call the Oceania Pacific Traditional Leaders Forum.
As we look at this declaration, why was it so significant, the timing of it, to do it during FestPAC with all of the delegations of the Pacific coming here to Hawaii?
Well, what better time to do it when all the leaders are here, or sort of, and we were wanting to convince them to be a part of it as well, because it started with 4 nations in this little discussion in Fiji. We saw the possibility of a success in building this brotherhood of all the nations so that we can support each other in the different issues that we have. We thought, hey, they're all going to be in Hawaii, for the FestPAC. Let's do it there. And it was a consensus of that little meeting. Yes, that was the right place to be.
One of the narratives with which we began was telling the story from Hawaii's point of view. So Hawaii ended up chairing or leading this Talanoa, being the facilitator for this Talanoa, this gathering. And yet, the narrative we began with was Kalakaua's story in 1887, sending the Kaimiloa down to Apia with the intent to create a federation of kingdoms of the Pacific. And it was in Kalakaua's vision that we formulate this federation. Being that the Festival of Pacific Arts was going to be here in Hawaii, being that we had the opportunity to gather the leaders who will be here, and here in Hawaii, we took advantage of asking the Friends of Ilanikas, could we have the final declaration signing, the Turuma Ariki signing in the throne room to honor King Kalakaua, and that's what happened that day.
Well, I got chicken skin because to me, it was a part of history. And I thought, wow, I'm living in a part of history and I'm part of it, So I was so excited for our children and our grandchildren that this was happening. And hopefully it would grow to be a big part of who we are.
Now, this declaration is in addition to many things that is taking place with OHA. As we look toward the rest of the year, Chair, and all of the initiatives moving forward, what's to come?
We're moving towards a big part of who we are, and we're trying to take our place in our islands, take our place with our rights. It's so important that our people are recognized. This is our place. And I'm hoping that these activities that we're doing will build up our Hawaii as well as our people as an indigenous people. So we're working really hard towards that end, reaching out in different directions that we think is part of what we are. And we're trying to do that.
If I can add in too that, when I came over to the Office of Hawaiian Affairs in March of this year, I really was ignorant on its role with our people, even though I thought I knew. I really thought I knew. And I found out and understood better that OHA is the 4th branch of state government, that it has a responsibility. And with the leadership of Chair and the other trustees, as well as our Kapohana, I can see the beacon, I can see the kuleana, the task that we have, that OHA has, to actually stand as equals among leaders and also to stand as a leader, to be able to help our people, to work with our people, and to serve our people.
Aloha and welcome back to Hi Now Daily. Now, the main venue for the 13th FestPAC was the Hawaii Convention Center.
That's right, but there were many others as well. One of the primary venues was Bernice Pauahi Bishop Museum, located right down the street here in Kalihi. There was Kakao Uhi, or tattooing demonstrations, led by Dr. Kalehua Krug from the Waianae Coast. He's been engaged in traditional Hawaiian tattooing for more than 20 years, and also kalai, or carving demonstrations, were taking place as well.
Another primary venue was the Capitol Modern, formerly known as the Hawaii State Art Museum. Along with performances there was also a FestPAC 50th anniversary exhibition called Pilina, Our Relationships Are Our Heritage and Wealth.
Also, Kualoa Regional Park also hosted a Va'a festival. Some activities there included Va'a tours, knot tying, and star compass activities. So much more to get to. You're watching Hi Now Daily. We'll be right back.
Aloha and welcome back to Hi Now Daily. Now, there were events all across Oahu.
That's right. Some of the cities included Waikiki, Laie, Kaneohe, Kaka'ako, and Kalihi too.
Woohoo! And that performance was from American Samoa at Palama Settlement. It was important to the event organizers to hold events in communities island-wide.
That's right. Now, after the break, a recap of the closing ceremony. You're watching Hi Now Daily. We'll be right back.
welcome back to Hainal Daily. That was a fun recap of FestPAC, and you got to experience all of it. So very fun. So thank you all so much for joining us.
That's right. It was incredible. And to end our show today, we want to take you back with a look at the closing ceremony, a recap of FestPAC as a whole. Take a look. Aloha nui, I'm Kainoa Carlson on the campus of the University of Hawaii at Manoa. Doors just opened behind me as thousands have gathered for the closing ceremonies for FestPAC.
We are so excited that many of the nations who have joined us for the 13th Festival of Pacific Arts and Culture have joined us here once again. Eo mai, as we welcome you for our closing ceremonies.
I'm really so proud for all of us. It's an overwhelming feeling, and then just being here in the space, and after these 10 days of activities and engagement with 25 countries, more than 2,000 people from 25 countries on our shores. It's not just the first time that we've hosted this festival, that's the first time that has ever happened in the history of Hawaii. So I think something for all of us to be really, really proud of and really humbled by, I think even more, and just full of gratitude and appreciation.
So as well, this big emphasis to be out into the local communities, from West Oahu to Palama Settlement to Windward Mall to the convention to here in Honolulu. Why was that such an important part for the festival this year, being all throughout the local communities?
You know, let me first give credit to the governor, because the governor really wanted to assure that we were bringing this festival out into community. What we did then was look at where the community was. Kaneohe, large population of Native Hawaiians, all the way out to Ko'olauloa, large population of Pacific Islanders. Same with UH West Oahu. Palama Settlements, our largest population of Micronesians in the state. And so we really curated a group of venues that afforded us the opportunity to say to our community, this is for you. We wanted to elevate you, we want to lift you up, and ultimately we want to say we see you.
Just talked with the governor. They said something anticipation numbers-wise, 60 to 80,000. It's at 500,000 in terms of participants. When you think about that, the volume of people who came out to learn and attend FestPAC, how does that make you and the team feel? It's unbelievable.
That is overwhelming in itself. When I heard today that, you know, our original projections were 60 to 100,000 across the festival over the course of the festival. When we heard today that it looked like we had met that goal on day 2 at the convention center, that doesn't even account for Palama Settlement, for Windward Mall, for UH West Oahu, for Waikiki, and the kudos and the mahalos that we've all been experiencing over the course of the last 10 days. I mean, this really was for us, by us.
What's the one thing you're hoping that these delegations have maybe learned about Hawaii, and the fact that 25 came, participated, the ability to host FestPAC here, but what you're hoping delegations from around the Pacific are taking with them when they go home about Hawaii, our home?
In the Pacific, save New Zealand, we're the youngest in the family. New Zealand is the only one younger than us in the entire region. And so what's been fascinating to me is, on one hand, having spent my childhood in the Pacific has always been, Hawaii is way up there and doesn't maintain its relationships with all of us. Well, I think what we've done through this engagement is reestablish ourselves as perhaps the young kid at the table, but at the table. And now we have this responsibility to maintain those relationships, but likewise, our older sisters and brothers, our makua, our kupuna, also have this responsibility to maintain us as part of the family. The power of this festival is to establish those platforms, establish those relationships. We now have this equal responsibility to maintain those relationships over time. And so now the work begins.
Makanani, how are you feeling right now? We have arrived. It is the closing day for FestPAC. All of the emotion, all of the work, everything that went into this year's festival.
It's so bittersweet. I keep telling people, it's like we're so sad to see people go, because I feel like towards the end we really got it going, and you almost could do another week with everyone. But it's time for everyone to go home. Hawaii has done such a great job hosting. I'm just really proud of us.
Kanani, tell us about what's going to be taking place tonight. What can people expect with the closing ceremony?
Yeah, so tonight, instead of having a national parade, we're going to do a national roll call. So we'll recognize everyone and sort of thank them for their participation. We'll have a couple of speeches and we'll send them off in true Hawaii style with the music and dancing. It was really enriching for Hawaii and for all of our volunteers. Everyone we talked to, everyone had some kind of an exchange that sort of some cases altered the turn of their lives. The exchanges, the things that they've experienced, just the heartfelt cultural sharing has really left an impact, I think, on our whole community.
I'm filled with gratitude this evening, partly because of the spirit that each of you have brought to this festival.
You've been involved in the planning of the FestPAC from the very beginning. How does it feel to see all of the work, all of the delegations here, and what transpired over these past 11 days in Hawaii?
The complexity of the events, the distribution of the events, the kinds of things that we've brought to this festival that have never been done before. I'm incredibly proud of our team, the leadership of Dr. Aaron Salah and all of Gravitas Pacifica, and the many, many hands who we saw and didn't see, and people who filled gaps that we didn't even know we had. Mahalo to everyone.
Now, over the course of the 11 days, there have been so many chicken skin moments. Is there any one moment, one time, one thing that stands out to you?
I think too, for me, the Va'a arrival ceremony for me is a really traditional way that sort of honors our navigating past and our ancestors who traversed oceans. We heard that from many, many of the speakers at the opening ceremony. So for me, that was really special. Rolling right into the opening ceremony, I think obviously the sharing of mele and oli and ceremony and gifts and speeches, 8 hours worth, amazing. But I also think it's the little moments. It's the quiet moments. It's the little one-on-one conversations that people are having on the, wherever they're at, whether it was the third floor, the festival village, satellite stages, that meaningful connection on the individual level really surprised me. We're part of a larger Pacific family. Moana Nui Ake is the ocean that we all call home. We all have a responsibility to it, regardless if you're Hawaiian or not, and I hope this festival really swells pride within each of us and awakens a sense of kuleana for us.
Gov, how does it feel to be standing here today? We saw you at the opening Va'a ceremony, to the parade of delegations which took place earlier, but now to be here at the closing FestPAC held here in Hawaii for the very first time.
It's incredible. Jamie and I will never forget it. Bringing this many people together was our dream, and the dream seems to have come true. You mentioned the Va'a ceremony. That really was special because that's where Jamie grew up, and to see the ships come in with the delegates, with the leaders, it kind of blew us away. At the opening ceremony, which was about 8 hours of celebration with all of these nations bonding, was also amazing. We're grateful to Hawaii for coming out in such great numbers and giving everyone so much aloha. I hope people see that the Pacific is united and the people of the Pacific and the leaders of the Pacific embrace one another as family. If we can be a part of that and people remember that Hawaii was a part of that, then it will never be anything that we could, as a family, equal. Makanani said it best. Thank you for welcoming us back into the Pacific. It had been many years since Hawaii had been fully engaged with all of the nations, and that was very special. And I want them to know that we are their ohana and they are our ohana. That really is the message that came through.